Hold on. Are you seriously telling me that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon just casually dropped the biggest personal bombshell of their entire career on a podcast? Not at WrestleMania. Not on Monday Night Raw. Not even on a WWE Network special. A podcast. The same couple that orchestrated elaborate storylines, massive stadium announcements, and billion-dollar business deals, chose a podcast to reveal they're expecting another child. And you know what makes this even more insane? The timing. Right when WWE is going through its most transformative period in decades. Right when Triple H has his hands full running creative. Right when every single decision they make is under a microscope. They drop this news now. Let me tell you something that nobody is talking about right now. While everyone's freaking out about the pregnancy announcement itself, they're missing the real story here. This isn't just about another McMahon baby. This is about control. This is about legacy. This is about a family that has dominated professional wrestling for generations, and they're making sure that dominance continues. Think about it. Stephanie is 48 years old. 48. They already have 3 daughters, Aurora, Murphy, and Vaughn. Their youngest is what, about 10 years old now? They were done with the baby phase. They were in the clear. Triple H is running the entire creative direction of WWE. Stephanie stepped back from her on-screen role to focus on business operations and brand management. They had their lives perfectly structured. So why now? Why would they decide to expand their family at this particular moment in WWE history? Here's what went down on Stephanie's podcast, and I want you to listen to every single word I'm about to say because the details matter here. The episode started normally. They were talking about WrestleMania season, discussing some behind-the-scenes stories, the usual McMahon charm offensive. Then, about 23 minutes in, there's this pause. This weird, pregnant pause, no pun intended. Triple H does this nervous laugh. You know, the one, that signature game laugh, but with an edge of genuine nervousness we rarely hear from him. And Stephanie, cool as ice, says we probably should have planned how to say this better. And then, boom, we're expecting baby number 4. The podcast audio literally went silent for like 5 seconds. 5 seconds. In podcast time, that's an eternity. And then Triple H jumps in with surprise, like he's a kid who just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. But here's where things get really interesting, and this is where I need you to pay attention because the mainstream wrestling media is not covering this angle. Within minutes, literally minutes, of this announcement, social media exploded. But not in the way you'd expect. Sure, there were congratulations. Sure, there were well wishes. But there was also something else brewing underneath. Skepticism, questions, and outright anger from certain corners of the WWE universe. Why anger? Because of the timing. Let me break this down for you. In the last 6 months alone, WWE has released dozens of talented wrestlers. People with families. People with mortgages. People who dedicated their lives to that company. And while those releases were happening, while those wrestlers were scrambling to find new work and provide for their families, the McMahons were, well, making plans for baby number 4. The comments section on that podcast episode? Wild. Absolutely wild. One comment with over 12,000 likes said, "Congratulations, but maybe use some of that baby budget to re-sign the talent you've been cutting." Another one said, "Another McMahon to eventually run WWE into the ground." Great. Now, are these comments fair? That's debatable. But the sentiment? That's real. That's genuine frustration from a fanbase that feels disconnected from the people running their favorite form of entertainment. And then there's the other side of the reaction, the people questioning the legitimacy of the announcement itself. Is this a work? Are they building to an angle? Is Stephanie going to have an on-screen pregnancy storyline? These questions are flooding every wrestling forum, every Reddit thread, every Twitter discussion. Because let's be honest, this is the McMahon family we're talking about. The same family that turned Stephanie's real-life marriage into a storyline. The same family that used Vince's death as a television plot. The same family that has zero boundaries between their personal lives and their on-screen personas. Let's take a trip down memory lane for a second because context matters here. Every single major McMahon family announcement has had ripple effects throughout WWE. When Stephanie and Triple H's relationship became public in 2000, it literally changed the trajectory of both their careers and multiple storylines. When Stephanie got pregnant the first time in 2006, she was heavily involved in on-screen programming. The pregnancy forced creative changes, title changes, and a complete restructuring of several ongoing storylines. Her second and third pregnancies? Same story. Major impacts on WWE's creative direction. So why would this pregnancy be any different? Spoiler alert, it won't be. Triple H is currently in charge of all creative decisions for Raw and SmackDown. That's an intense, demanding, high-pressure job that requires constant attention. Now add impending fatherhood to that equation? Something's got to give. Someone's going to have to step up and take on additional responsibilities. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room that nobody in the wrestling media wants to address. The business implications. WWE just merged with UFC under the TKO Group Holdings banner. The company is valued at over $21 billion. We're not talking about a small family business anymore. We're talking about a publicly traded corporate giant. And at the center of this giant? The McMahon family. Still controlling. Still influencing. Still making decisions that affect thousands of employees and millions of fans worldwide. This pregnancy announcement? It's not just personal news. It's a statement. It's the McMahons saying we're not going anywhere. We're expanding. We're cementing our legacy for another generation. Think about it from a pure dynasty perspective. They already have 3 daughters who could potentially take over different aspects of the business. Aurora could handle one division, Murphy another, Vaughn a third, and now they're adding a 4th potential heir to the WWE throne. Let's circle back to how this news was delivered because I cannot stress enough how bizarre this decision was. Stephanie McMahon has access to literally every media platform on Earth. She could have gone on Good Morning America, The Today Show, ESPN, TMZ would have thrown money at her for an exclusive. Instead, her own podcast, with limited reach, with a fraction of the audience that a major network appearance would have generated. Why? Control. Complete control over the narrative. No hard questions from journalists. No unexpected follow-ups. No one pressing her about the timing, the business implications, or the fan reactions. Just a nice, safe, controlled environment where she and Triple H could deliver the news exactly how they wanted. It's brilliant, honestly. Frustrating for those of us who want answers, but absolutely brilliant from a public relations standpoint. Now, the WWE Universe being what it is, conspiracy theories are already running rampant. Let me share some of the wildest ones I've seen, and honestly, with the McMahons, nothing is off the table. Theory number 1, this is all building to Stephanie's return to television. She'll have an on-screen pregnancy storyline that culminates at WrestleMania with some massive angle involving the baby. Far-fetched? Maybe. Impossible? Absolutely not. Theory number 2, this is a distraction technique. With TKO under constant scrutiny, with ongoing legal issues and investigations, this positive personal news shifts the narrative away from corporate controversies. Strategic? Definitely. Theory number 3, and this one's my personal favorite, they're planning for succession. At 48, Stephanie knows she can't run WWE forever. Neither can Triple H. This 4th child might be intentionally planned to ensure they have options for the next generation of McMahon leadership. Here's what we know for sure. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H are expecting their 4th child. The announcement was made on Stephanie's podcast. The reaction has been mixed, ranging from genuine excitement to skepticism to outright hostility. Here's what we don't know. How this will affect WWE's creative direction. Whether Stephanie will return to television. What the long-term implications are for WWE's corporate structure. And most importantly, whether this is truly just a personal family decision or if there's a bigger strategic play happening behind the scenes. Think about what this means for WWE moving forward. Triple H is about to become a father of 4 while running the creative for a multi-billion-dollar entertainment company. That's insane pressure. That's juggling responsibilities that would break most people. Will we see changes in how Raw and SmackDown are produced? Will Triple H delegate more authority? Will other executives step into larger roles? These questions matter because they directly impact what we see on our screens every single week. And what about Stephanie? Is she really going to stay completely behind the scenes during this pregnancy? Or will the lure of the spotlight be too strong? Will WWE creative somehow incorporate this into programming? The McMahons have never been shy about blurring the lines between reality and storyline. Look, at the end of the day, congratulations are in order. Having a child is beautiful. Expanding your family is a blessing. Nobody should diminish that. But, and this is a big but, the McMahons aren't a normal family. They're the first family of professional wrestling. Every decision they make, personal or professional, has ramifications that echo throughout the entire industry. This pregnancy announcement isn't just celebrity gossip. It's not just entertainment news. It's a glimpse into the future of WWE. It's a sign of what's to come. It's the McMahons, once again, proving that they play by their own rules and make their own schedule. So yeah, fans can't believe it. And honestly, they probably shouldn't believe it. Not without asking questions. Not without considering the timing. Not without recognizing that with the McMahons, there's always more to the story than what's on the surface. This is the biggest McMahon announcement of 2025, and it's only October. Imagine what the rest of the year has in store. What do you think? Is this genuine exciting news or strategic corporate maneuvering? Are you happy for them or frustrated by the timing? Drop your comments below because I guarantee the McMahons are watching, reading, and taking notes on how the WWE Universe responds to their big announcement. This is WWE Reporter, and remember, in the world of professional wrestling, nothing is ever as simple as it seems, especially when it involves the McMahon family dynasty.